Welcome to today's Explainer. Okay, so we're diving straight into a totally counterintuitive solution to corporate burnout today. We are taking a strategic, real boardroom-level look at something called the bifurcated gig economy. We're going to completely flip the script in what you probably think you know about delivery driving. We'll be looking at it through the lens of high-achieving professionals, executives actually, who are jumping into food delivery. And get this, they aren't doing it out of desperation. They're using it as a deliberate, super lean business strategy.
So let's address the elephant in the boardroom, right? The modern professional landscape is literally defined by the crush of structural hierarchies, endless meetings, and, let's be real, creeping lifestyle debt. The pressure is just immense. So, how are top-tier executives finding an immediate escape? Well, you might assume they're booking expensive retreats or something, but for a growing, kind of invisible workforce, the absolute best cure for corporate burnout is found simply by getting behind the wheel of their own car and just logging into an app.
Now, we need to shatter some assumptions right out of the gate here. The reality, over 36% of Americans now utilize side hustles. And no, this isn't just some temporary post-pandemic trend. It is a permanent economic fixture. The gig economy has totally evolved. It's actually integrating itself directly into the financial and, honestly, the mental health strategies of the fully employed professional class.
And the demographics of this shadow workforce are absolutely wild. Current data reveals that a staggering 45% of gig workers actually come from households earning over $100,000 annually. Seriously, let that sink in for a second. We are talking about highly educated, white-collar workers, managers, directors, executives, who are actively choosing to deliver food the minute they log off from their primary jobs.
And they definitely aren't just doing it for spare pocket change. With the average side hustler bringing in nearly $900 a month, this is a calculated secondary asset stream. Think about it. For a professional managing complex debt loads, or maybe just trying to accelerate their investments, this cash provides what we call easy liquidity. It's a reliable, scalable financial buffer. And the best part, it doesn't require committing to some rigid schedule or having to beg a boss for overtime.
This brings us to a really fascinating concept: the bifurcated gig economy. Basically, the labor market has officially split. On one side, you have traditional gig workers. But on the other, you've got experienced executives adopting the persona of a sole trader. They are deliberately stepping out of their high-pressure, high-visibility corporate identities and seeking personal fulfillment in a completely different arena. An arena where, frankly, they answer to absolutely no one but an algorithm.
The absolutely crucial point here is the contrast. Traditional corporate stability, well, it often brings rigid schedules and endless high-pressure bottlenecks. On the flip side, we have independent asset management. Delivery work offers total operational autonomy. You choose the exact hour, the exact location. For a burnt-out executive, the simple act of leaving a massive, complex corporate problem behind to successfully complete a simple, tangible task, like, say, delivering a bag of warm tacos, is just profoundly therapeutic. Looking at the generational breakdown here, millennials and Gen X professionals are completely leading the charge at 30% and 26% respectively, and it makes perfectly good sense, right? These cohorts are right in the prime of their earning years, usually carrying the highest burdens of mortgages and student loans. For them, treating this extra work as a core career strategy isn't a step backward. It's a highly pragmatic adaptation to a super volatile economy.
A huge driver for these professionals is what labor economists like to call the flexibility premium. This is essentially the surplus psychological and financial value generated simply by having total, absolute control over your own labor. Think about it. When your 9 to 5 is entirely dictated by external demands, finding a gig that lets you turn your availability on and off with a single swipe, that offers a highly profitable, immediate stress detox.
If you really want to understand this, you have to view the delivery gig as a lean, independent business venture. You aren't just driving around. You are literally executing a masterclass in independent logistics. You're applying your hard-earned professional skills to algorithmic route optimization, high-efficiency dispatch, and immediate liquidity realization. It's an environment that completely strips away office politics and purely rewards one thing: efficiency. By leveraging that operational autonomy and applying a true executive mindset to a blue-collar task, the returns are remarkably robust. In fact, current data shows that 43% of these workers actually earn more money while working fewer hours compared to taking on traditional secondary roles. When you strip away all that administrative bloat, the margins on your time are significantly better. It's a real game changer.
The reality out on the ground totally reflects this lean approach. Nearly 70% of gig drivers are part-time workers utilizing these apps to manage their schedules and businesses completely independently.
They are effectively CEOs of a one-person logistics firm. They manage their own capital asset, their vehicle, they calculate depreciation, they analyze surge pricing, and they deploy their time for maximum return, the whole shebang.
But wait, how do they navigate the social aspect of this? Well, executives use a pretty fascinating psychological tool called identity compartmentalization. They seamlessly transition from a high-stakes boardroom to an anonymous open road. They can literally finish a shift in a corporate office, change clothes in their car, and begin a route within minutes, remaining entirely invisible to their professional network. And the result of this compartmentalization is pretty profound. An overwhelming 85% of gig workers report high levels of satisfaction with their secondary income. Honestly, when you completely remove the pressure of career progression and just focus purely on the immediate, tangible reward of completing a task on your own terms, the job satisfaction routinely surpasses that of their primary, high-status careers.
Let's address the fear of judgment directly, because this quote from an actual driver perfectly captures the unmatched emotional satisfaction of this work. They said, "When I walk into restaurants, I walk in like a boss. I'm making good money, and I am stress-free." That right there is the true mindset of the sole trader. They aren't looking for validation from some middle manager. They are finding genuine empowerment in their independent hustle.
Here's my advice for any white-collar professionals out there feeling burnt out by traditional corporate structures. Adopt this exact mindset. Just entirely ignore the negative social stigma. Frame this work for what it actually is: honest, independent asset management. Focus purely on the financial autonomy and the immense mental clarity this role provides. Look, if you're hitting your goals and significantly reducing your stress, the outside noise simply doesn't matter.
This all builds into a much broader financial framework through the concept of the reservation wage. High-achieving executives calculate this meticulously. They aren't just looking at the gross hourly pay. No, they are factoring in the psychological benefits of autonomy. They recognize that the immense mental relief of driving around, listening to a good podcast, and totally escaping the office far outweighs the physical wear and tear on their vehicle.
Ultimately, managing this lean logistics business acts as the absolute ultimate career safety net. In an era of unpredictable corporate restructuring and layoffs, having a secondary asset stream that you can instantly scale up or down provides massive peace of mind. It significantly reduces professional burnout because you know deep down you aren't entirely dependent on a single employer. It's a brilliant strategic hedge against economic volatility for us all.
So I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought. If a lean independent venture on a delivery app offers higher emotional satisfaction, way better margins on your time, and total control of your life, whose job is really at the bottom of the hierarchy? Is it the stressed out executive trapped in a cubicle, or the anonymous driver who just clocked out, completely stress-free with cash in hand? You know, it might just be time to completely rethink what a successful career actually looks like.